Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Hayes Crude Outside. I'm Hayes Crude. It's the 22nd day of hunting season, and I'm still on the hunt for the monster buck and putting some meat on the table. I'm out at public access land in Tidewater, Virginia, and I'm going to put up my tree stand today, and I'm going to hunt tomorrow. As you can see, I'm on the edge of a soybean field. This is public access, several thousand acres, and the soybean field is private land, and there's a nice canal here separating the two. But if you get a chance, please like and subscribe. Check out the description box below. There's a couple links to Facebook page. There's also links to other videos in relation to scent control, things of that nature. But I really appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. Let's get on it. As you can see, this is a nicely cut trail. Park Ranger's done a great job, and I usually do one of two things. I stick close to the parking lot, or I go as far away from the parking lot as possible. And if you look to the right, there's usually I'd say on this particular trail about 10 different blaze orange stickers, which usually means another hunter's thinking about putting up a tree stand. So it's hard to tell when they're going to be in it. So what I usually like to do is again stick next to the parking lot, which usually there's a lot of deer right there because deer hunters aren't. Or I'll go as far away as possible with the idea that as hunters come in and leave throughout the day, they're pushing deer where they're not. And I'm going to be on the edge of where I think all the other hunters are going to be. And as you can see, I've got a climbing tree stand. It's a summit. It's an awesome stand. The only challenge is it's so good, I fall asleep in it. And if the deer aren't waking me up, I will usually miss them. With that being said, a couple rules I follow when I go hunting. One, I wear a safety harness just in case, like you said, I fall asleep. This particular stand actually encloses me, but again, the extra safety. Since no one else knows where I'm at, I don't have, a lot of times anybody coming with me. I use a muddy safety harness, keeps me in this tree. I also like to make sure I know my target. There's so many different people out here. Some people don't like to wear blaze orange. So if I don't know it's a deer and I got a shot at the vitals, I don't even put my finger on the trigger. So make sure you know your target. Most of us know that. Some of the newer hunters get excited, and that buck fever I've been hunting for years still gets me. The other one for public access is first come, first serve. There's a ton of hunters out here. If someone gets there before me, it's their spot. I don't fight over it. Even though I may have my tree stand in, put in the day before, been checking this place out, scouting for the last couple months. At the same time, they might have too. So I always give it up. If someone is first there, then they get it. If I'm there, well, then it's mine. You're not pushing me on. But with that being said, I try to make sure I stay at least 250 yards away from the next hunter. Super thick in here, so the chances of them getting me is not that good, but you never know. And then, of course, I like to get up in the tree because, again, hunters out here, they're shooting, if they're on the ground, they're shooting a straight line. And if I'm up in a tree, chances are they're not shooting up because deer aren't up there. So just keep that in mind. One, wear your blaze orange, know your target. That's the most important one. Just don't pull the trigger at stuff. And obviously wear safety harnesses. And I always will tell my wife or a friend where I'm at, just in case something bad does happen. They know where to find me. There's, like I said, several thousand acres. If I'm in trouble and they're sending someone out, if they don't know exactly where I'm at, it may take them a while. And again, there are times where I'm way out in the woods, so I always like to give them some idea where I'm going to be. Part of the reason why I chose this spot is I was out last week, saw a big buck on the other side of that canal, and it's on the edge of where all the other hunters I think are hunting. So the idea is get here first thing in the morning, have the hunters push the deer to me, and since there's a field over there, the idea is they're out in the field at night and they're going to go back into the thick stuff in the morning. So we'll see if that theory works out. As you can see, there's some stands just about up there. That's my 12 gauge Browning, but tomorrow I'll be using a little bit bigger gun. I've got a Mossberg 935 that'll shoot 3.5 inch slugs. I'll be doing probably a 3-inch double aught, which actually carries that shot a little bit better than the Browning 12 gauge pump. That'll shoot 3 inches too, but I usually use 2 3/4. It's a lighter gun, whereas the Mossberg 935 is a little bit heavier. Can carry that kick a little bit better. So you see, I'm cleaning this up. But let's get on it. Just about that time, putting up my chair there. As you can see, it's got straps. You hook it on. That chair actually helps keep me warmer when it's cold, and it's just super comfortable. It's ridiculous. But again, wear that safety harness. That's always important. Again, in this tree stand, it's so comfortable. Again, sometimes I'll doze off, but it's just about that time. Let's do some hunting. Oh, I almost forgot. Anytime you're hunting public access land and you plan on leaving anything, always lock it up. It's amazing how people can find stuff in the woods. If you don't lock it up, you're basically giving it away. Hate to say it. Lock everything up.
It is an absolutely beautiful day. Uh, Whitetail season's been in for about 23 days now. It's October, and the rut's right around the corner. I've seen some monster buck. I actually came in last week and saw some monster bucks sitting out here in a field. So I came back into the thick stuff where you're allowed to shoot them and set up. And there's several hunters out here. Some of the problems with public access land, which is what I'm hunting on, is there's 40 different blaze orange tags indicating somebody's probably going to put a stand up. The problem is I don't know when they're in them. And, I try to stick around about 250 yards from the nearest hunter, but when you're coming in the dark, you just don't know. Um, so I'm hoping I'm not too close. Pretty cool. It's around the 50s, 60, right now. Should only get up to about the 70s today. I'm sitting on the edge of a field and the crossover, so I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at. I've got about 30 yards tops as far as thickness. Um, and I can hear the dogs way out, about half a mile away. There's a kennel for hunting dogs, which is pretty cool. But man, they make a lot of noise when you're coming in. But check out the description box below. Sometimes I put links to videos. I've got a video for how to control your scent, even though I'm up in a tree. Sometimes depending on where the wind's going, it'll blow my scent around. You want to reduce it as much as possible. Um, Little acorns are falling down, man. It makes every time I hear something drop, I think it's a deer. But again, we're out here whitetail hunting, Tidewater, Virginia, in thick stuff, and it's right before rut, so I like my chances. Please like and subscribe. Let's get on it.
So the deer coming from the field, they're going to be going right to left on the screen. If they're coming down from where the hunters are coming in from the parking lot, they should be coming from left to right. I'm in the thick stuff, a little bit past the screen. It opens up a little bit in the woods, but for the most part, it's um, it's thick as hell in here. So I'm going to have a pretty stiff downward angle, probably 35, 45 degrees. So I've got to be careful where I'm placing the shot. I don't want to shoot below them where I'm at, but hearing some movement. Yeah, here I don't know if you guys can see him, but he's coming left to right, about the center of your screen. Problem is, I can see his tail. I can't, and I can see his head, but there's a big tree between me and the vitals, so I just can't get a shot. He's sitting there eating something, just sitting there taking his time. Just got to move out of the way of the tree. Sitting there about center of the screen. Got him. Usually give it about 15 to 20 minutes, let the deer bleed out instead of running down and possibly spooking them up, running them to another hunter.
I'm shaking like a leaf right now. That buck fever hits me every time. This guy, I was thinking they were coming from this way, in from the fields. This buck was actually coming up towards the field. I'm not sure what that's about. But I think I was right. I think some of the hunters are pushing the deer down. I got in here pretty early, and I've been hearing people come in. But this thing snuck right up on me. I thought, the wind actually is in my favor right now. The wind was going this way. I thought it was going to smell me. Hey, when I stopped, it's actually going this way now, so the wind was in my favor. But that 3-inch double-wide buck dropped him right where he stood, didn't move anywhere, which is good. As thick as it is out here, I wasn't going to find him if he took off too far. But let's go check it out.